but the products being advertised would be inherent. Imagine walking into a bar, but instead of the smell of stale beer and whiskey, you're greeted by an aroma of earthy, skunky or fruity cannabis. The atmosphere is different, more relaxed, and the conversations are deeper, more introspective. The guests aren't just there to escape the daily grind, but to connect, share, and experience a different kind of high. Picture this: pot cafes on every corner, their neon green signs beckoning customers in for a relaxing evening. These places aren't just stores, but community hubs where people gather, share stories, and enjoy a sense of camaraderie. The staff is knowledgeable and guides you through a variety of strains and products, each promising a unique experience. This isn't some distant planet in a science fiction novel. This is Earth with a reverse script. In countries like South Africa, Thailand, Canada, and parts of the USA, this is already a reality. In these places, the legalization of cannabis has had a significant impact on society, the economy, and health. Imagine cities where cannabis stores are as common as coffee shops, where the stigma surrounding cannabis use has vanished, and where people openly discuss their favorite strains and experiences. We're so used to alcohol being the socially acceptable intoxicant, a constant presence at celebrations, funerals, and everything in between. It's woven into the fabric of our social rituals, from toasting at weddings to sharing a drink at a funeral. But what if this norm was flipped on its head? What if we swapped our beer glasses for pipes and our wine glasses for vaporizers? Imagine gatherings where instead of clinking glasses, people pass around vaporizers or share a joint. The conversations might be more reflective, the laughter more genuine, and the connections deeper. Would our world be a more relaxed, introspective, and perhaps even healthier place? Cannabis is known to enhance mindfulness practices like yoga and meditation, promoting a sense of peace and well-being. Imagine a society where these practices are mainstream, where people prioritize mental health and relaxation. This isn't about demonizing one substance and glorifying the other. It's about exploring possibilities and questioning the status quo. What if our social norms shifted to embrace a substance that many believe has fewer negative health consequences than alcohol? It's about challenging our preconceived notions and examining the societal implications of our choices, especially when it comes to substances that alter our minds and bodies. How would our relationships, our health, and our society as a whole change if cannabis were the norm? In places like South Africa, Thailand, and parts of the USA, where cannabis is legal, the economic impact has been significant, with new industries and job opportunities emerging. There's potential for reducing alcohol-related health problems and accidents. Imagine a society where the focus is on well-being and community rather than escapism and overconsumption. This isn't just a hypothetical scenario, it's a conversation worth having as we rethink our relationship with substances and their role in our lives. Let's be honest, alcohol is a dangerous substance. It's linked to a whole host of health problems. Liver damage, heart disease, certain types of cancer, the list goes on. And let's not forget the social consequences: drunk driving, domestic violence, and public intoxication. Cannabis, on the other hand, has a far less severe impact. While not completely harmless, especially for developing brains, it's demonstrably safer than alcohol. Studies have shown that cannabis can even have medical benefits, helping with chronic pain, anxiety, and even some forms of epilepsy. Imagine a world where fewer people suffer from alcohol-related illnesses, where emergency rooms aren't filled with victims of drunk driving, where addiction and its devastating consequences are less prevalent. This is the potential of a world where cannabis is legal and alcohol is not. In this alternate reality, cannabis isn't a taboo subject whispered about in hushed tones. Instead, it's a topic as commonplace and relaxed as discussing the weather or the latest movie release. People openly share their experiences and preferences, creating a culture of transparency and understanding. It's woven into the fabric of society, seamlessly integrated into everyday life. From morning routines to winding down in the evening, cannabis finds its place alongside coffee and tea, becoming a regular part of many people's daily rituals. Instead of noisy bars, we might see cannabis cafes, laid-back venues where people gather to socialize, enjoy music, and partake in some legal herbal relaxation. These cafes would offer a range of cannabis products, from edibles to vaporizers, catering to different preferences and creating a welcoming atmosphere for all. Dinner parties might conclude with a shared joint instead of a bottle of wine. Imagine a gathering where the host brings out a selection of finely curated cannabis strains, each with its unique flavor profile and effect, much like a wine tasting. Guests would savor the experience, discussing the nuances of each strain and enjoying the relaxed communal vibe. Music festivals would be filled with the scent of cannabis, not the stench of spilled beer. The atmosphere would be more mellow and peaceful, with attendees enjoying the music and each other's company in a more mindful and present state. And workplaces might even offer designated cannabis lounges where employees can unwind during breaks. These spaces would be designed to promote relaxation and creativity, with comfortable seating, calming decor, and a variety of cannabis options to help employees recharge and refocus. This doesn't mean everyone would suddenly become cannabis enthusiasts. Just like with alcohol or coffee, people would have their preferences and choices. Some might prefer to abstain, while others might indulge occasionally or regularly. But the societal acceptance of cannabis, coupled with the ban on alcohol, would undoubtedly lead to a cultural shift. This shift would be reflected in laws, social norms, and everyday interactions, creating a new landscape of social behavior and expectations. We might see a decrease in aggression and violence, as cannabis is known for its calming effects. Public spaces would become more peaceful, with fewer altercations and a greater sense of community and cooperation. An increase in creativity and introspection, as cannabis often enhances these qualities. People might find themselves more inspired and open to new ideas, leading to a flourishing of art, music, and innovation, and a greater emphasis on mindfulness and well-being. With cannabis as a tool for relaxation and self-care, individuals would prioritize their mental and emotional health, leading to a more balanced and harmonious society. Episode 4, The Grim Reaper's Favorite Drink, Alcohol's Deadly Toll. The statistics paint a grim picture. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, alcohol is responsible for over 3 million deaths annually. That's more than HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and violence combined. These deaths aren't just from long-term health problems like cirrhosis of the liver. They're also a result of drunk driving, alcohol poisoning, and alcohol-related violence. Alcohol is a public health crisis, and its impact is undeniable. Now imagine a world where those numbers plummet, where the leading cause of preventable death isn't a substance readily available in every supermarket and gas station. That's the potential of a world where alcohol is treated with the same caution and restriction as other hard drugs. Episode 5. Bootlegged Booze, When Prohibition Hits Home. Prohibition, as history has shown us, is a tricky beast. It was a time when the government tried to curb alcohol consumption by making it illegal, but the results were far from what they intended. When alcohol was banned in the United States in the 1920s, it didn't stop people from drinking. Instead, it pushed the practice underground, creating a thriving subculture. It simply drove it underground, leading to the rise of organized crime, bootlegging, and dangerous, unregulated moonshine. The demand for alcohol didn't disappear, it just found new, often illicit ways to be met. In our hypothetical scenario, we might see a similar situation with alcohol. Imagine a world where alcohol is once again prohibited. The social and economic dynamics would shift dramatically. Black markets could emerge, offering illegal booze at exorbitant prices. The allure of the forbidden fruit would likely drive people to seek out these hidden sources, despite the risks involved. Home brewing of alcohol could become more prevalent, potentially leading to health risks from poorly made beverages. Without regulation, the quality and safety of these home brews would be highly questionable. The crucial difference, however, is that the dangers of black market cannabis pale in comparison to the potential harms of unregulated alcohol production. Cannabis, when cultivated and consumed responsibly, poses far fewer health risks than poorly made alcohol. So while black markets are never ideal, they might be a more manageable consequence in a world where the most dangerous substance is the one that's prohibited. The lessons from the Prohibition era teach us that outright bans can often lead to unintended and sometimes more dangerous outcomes. The social fabric of society would also change. Speakeasies, those hidden bars from the Prohibition era, might make a comeback, becoming clandestine social hubs where people gather to enjoy a drink away from prying eyes. Law enforcement would face a near impossible task trying to control the spread of illegal alcohol. The resources required to combat this black market would be enormous, and the success rate, as history has shown, would likely be low. The community impact would be significant. Families and individuals who rely on the legal sale of alcohol for their livelihood would be affected, leading to economic hardship in areas dependent on this industry. Ultimately, the comparison between regulated and unregulated markets highlights the benefits of regulation. Safe consumption environments, quality control, and economic stability are just a few of the advantages that come with a regulated market. As we look to the future, it's crucial to learn from the past. Sensible policies that balance regulation with personal freedom can help create a safer and more stable society. The story of prohibition serves as a potent reminder of the complexities involved in legislating human behavior. Episode 6, From Beer Commercials to Cannabis Brands, the shift in advertising. Our media landscape is saturated with alcohol advertising, from flashy beer commercials during sporting events to seductive liquor ads in magazines. We're bombarded with messages that normalize and even glorify alcohol consumption. In a world where cannabis is legal and alcohol is prohibited, this advertising landscape would undergo a dramatic transformation. Instead of seeing billboards for the latest craft beer, we might encounter ads for different cannabis strains, highlighting their unique flavors and effects. The marketing tactics might be similar, appealing to our desires for relaxation, socialization, and escape.